Hi, my name is Priya Khanna. I'm a Fengshui expert, a healer, a medium, and a coach. Today, I'm speaking to you, making this video with a very specific purpose. You might have seen lots of my videos in the past, and I always talk about energy healing, feng shui, different kinds of crystals, and things like that. But today, I have to talk about something which I have experienced in the last 6 months of my life. And this is a personal share. It has very little value in terms of feng shui, but it has great value in terms of a teaching in life. The last 6 months have been absolutely the most traumatic months of my life. My life has always been very turbulent, ups and downs and waves and different kinds of experiences. As you might see, I'm sitting with an oxygen pipe in my nose and I can barely speak. Yes, you're right. My life has taken a U-turn. I was infected by COVID in the last week of January 2021, and I thought it was just a normal attack of COVID. I was smiling and laughing and like it was okay, there's no problem. 14 days and then I will be fine. It turned into a horror story. I actually experienced the entire process of dying, and I don't know how, but of living all over again. And that is what I want to share with you, and my journey after which might help some people understand a little more about how life functions, how the body functions, how the mind functions, and how the soul functions. Whoever knows me or has heard of me will know that I am a great proponent of the fact that the soul is super supreme, the body comes secondary, and everything else is secondary. And the first thing that governs our life on this planet Earth is the soul or the spirit, whatever you want to call it, the life force energy, which is the energy sent on planet Earth by the Almighty God. So this is how it goes. I got COVID, I was hospitalized just because we wanted to take some precaution, not because I was very unwell. As I went there, the very next day, I suddenly developed pneumonia and I was shifted into ICU, COVID ICU. That was the most horrifying experience. Everybody next to me, close to me, by my side, everyone had COVID and everybody was in ICU. And then we had this huge team of nurses and doctors who were all COVID-free, but were serving us inside this absolutely, I can't even tell you how terrifying that space was. Everybody was suffering. Temperatures were like 103. People were like in agony. I went on to a ventilator and not life support ventilator, but high flow ventilator, taking in 90 liters of oxygen. It was terrible. It was the first week, I think. I can't remember now, but all I know, 5 days, 6 days in the ICU, and I had gone. And then it was the strangest feeling. I wasn't scared. There was no fear. I just knew that I had left the body and I was gone. And then all of a sudden I could hear my daughter screaming loudly, sitting on the floor and banging her hands and screaming and saying, "Mama, Mama, Mama." And I could also hear my sister, who was very dear to my heart. She was screaming, calling me, saying, "Didi, Didi." And something just happened. And I can literally see it in front of my eyes right now. Suddenly, I saw I can't say what it was, but it was like a light, a golden, white, very luminous sort of a light. And then, as if it was like less than a split second. And I'm saying this because I know it was less than a split second that the whole communication, you can call it, I don't know what to call it, but I'd say communication sort of took place, and I came back. I came back. When I say that, the communication was simple. Did I want to leave? And this conversation is not with the body at all. This conversation was with the soul. And why can I say this? Because I am a soul healer. I do this professionally. So I speak with souls all the time. I talk to them, I negotiate, I change so many situations. I mean, people who know me are very well aware of the kind of work that I do. So I know this is what it was. It was just a conversation, like a split second conversation, and I was back. And everything turned. I was back, and I can remember now that the first thing that my body probably sort of, I'm being honest here, but in that much fever and that kind of state, you aren't very clear. However, this was very clear. When I was back in the body, I just remember saying that I don't want to go. I don't want to go. What a waste. There's so much to do. I don't want to go. And that was it. After that, things changed. I came out of the COVID ICU. The COVID was gone. However, because the body had prepared to leave in 6 days, the body had become. If I was 10 when I was taken ill, I was literally half. I'm not talking about 5, I'm talking about 0.5 when I re-entered the body. I was huge when I was taken. I was over 80 kilos of weight. In a few days, I had shed maybe 20 odd kilos, and I was on very high steroids. So I don't know the logic and the reasoning. The doctors would know that, but I had shed a lot of weight. I had no muscle left. They took me out of COVID ICU, put me in a normal, not a normal, I was in a, I don't know what they call it, in a room. It was an ICU room, but it was totally sterilized. Nobody was allowed to enter. Nothing. Even the air was sterilized. So I was in that high intensity sterilized room. I was in the ICU for 70 days. I couldn't lift a finger. I could not do anything. Nothing. I couldn't raise myself, couldn't raise my hand, couldn't do anything. I had no power. I had nothing left in me. However, the soul had decided to come back, and the body was not sort of in sync with the whole process that was going through, it was a Herculean task. My family stood by me, my friends stood by me. They looked after me so much, my children, my son, who also had got infected because of me. When I was taken in, he also, because he was the one who took me to the hospital, he also got COVID, but thankfully he had taken his injections, so his was mild. My husband got the same. His was also mild, thankfully. So my son actually came in to the ICU, into the room, wearing a PP kit and masks and everything, like the doctors, and slowly nursed me back. And then my daughter and my sister and my friends, everybody took turns and brought me back. I have 2 sons. Both of them were amazing. And my daughter, of course. When I say of course, means she's so dedicated to me that I take her for granted. Yeah, so she worked a lot on me and still is doing a lot. What I want to say through this video is that if the soul decides, the body has to follow. Because in some of my talks, I have said this before, and because I'm a Feng Shui expert, I use this sentence a lot, that the body is the house of the soul, and the home that we live in is the house of the body, and the city that the house is in is the house, or is the home of that house. And then that city, whichever country it is the part of, is that country is the part of that city. And then that city is the part of the continent, and the continent is the part of the world, and the world is the part of the planet and the universe. So from the universe to the soul, there are different homes, but each one of them is connected. So I started, when I could talk, I started calling up my sister and my daughter and started telling them things what they need to do in my home. And they were like, why don't you just get well first, come home, and we'll do this and we'll do that. And I would say, no, I want you to prepare the home for me to come, because in this state I can't come. And they were like, we don't understand you. I said, yeah, remove the carpets, open up the windows. They couldn't understand my logic, but the logic was simple. My soul was back in the body, my brain was fine, I was very alert, but my body, the physical body, muscles were gone. Result was, I had to wait in the hospital for that to recover. I had completely lost my breath, and my lungs had got fibrosis, so that fibrosis was really bothering me. However, the brain, this is what I'm saying, mind over matter, the brain was functioning, and functioning so strongly that it was telling me what to do. What should I be doing next? What should I be doing after this? And you won't believe it, some of my friends called it my housekeeping activities, but I actually prepared the entire space for myself to come home through my mental planning, based on Feng Shui, based on the energy healings that I do, and thanks to a lot of my friends in this field who helped me a lot professionally. I took professional healing sessions from a lot of people. So, to cut the story short, will somebody benefit out of my information? I'm not sure. Um, However, when I got COVID, I didn't know somebody could be taken ill so badly. Almost everyone in the crowd that I knew was shocked that how can you be so unwell that you haven't come out of hospital in 70 days? And believe me, when I came out of hospital after the 70 days, 68 days I was in ICU, 2 days I was in the other normal room, and then I was sent home. So imagine, it was really traumatizing. And in this time of trauma, the one thing that kept me going was all the different kinds of healings that I did. Were we doing our prayers? Of course. Were we doing our, our sacrifices, sadkas, all those things? Yes, of course. All of that was being done. Every family member was praying. I was praying. Friends were praying. That was all happening. But over and above, there's a world. I, of course, always knew it because it's my field of work. But what I want to tell you is that I was not saved only because of medicine. I was saved because of the energy healings that I took. A lot of modalities. I can't say who or what helped me the most. I would say each one did their part because I switched from one to the other as time went by. I'll be very happy to share information if anybody needs it. You all can reach me. My name, as I said, is Priya Khanna. The company that I run is called Elements Fengshui, and my number is listed online everywhere, and I'll give it to you here. It's 050-652-7087. You can WhatsApp me, and I would be happy to give you information about what kind of help you can take in terms of energy healings from the different therapists, because not everybody does everything. So since I am from this field, I know the best of the best, and I can help you with that. So this is my little share with you. I don't know whether it'll help anybody or not, but it's just important for people to know that I know it's a dark hole and it's very bad. Even now I go through spells of depression. I'm still on oxygen. It's exactly 6 months now. 25th of January 2021 was when I was taken to hospital. Today is the 29th of July 2021 and I'm still on oxygen. I don't know. I can't walk much. I work from home and I didn't stop working in the sense that as soon as I came back home, which was in April, I started working within the first 15 days. That's what actually helped me come back to being normal, because the brain is so powerful that the minute you set your mind to doing something, consider it done. So if your mind can overrule something, whatever the thought is, the body will follow. As you might see, I'm almost back to being myself physically. I don't have so much strength. I can't walk too much, but that's because of my lungs. Not because I don't have power in my arms or legs or whatever. I do. I just get breathless. So, as soon as the lungs become okay, I think I should be fine. And that's the whole idea. So this is my share about my experience with COVID. In another video, I am going to share with you some of the thoughts that have shifted my life and my way of thinking. And you My dad used to say something to me, which was, you don't have to fall to learn how to walk. You can learn from others' mistakes. So, the reason why I'm saying this is because you don't have to have COVID to have these changes in your thought processes. You can learn from my mistakes. So in my next video, I will share with you some of the thoughts that have shifted in my life and has changed a lot in me. And this is what I say, the power of the thought. So till then, take care and lots of love. And I'm so grateful to be alive. Thank you for watching.